and welcome to Morning Trade with Moneycontrol in association with Mirai, with M Stock by Mirai Asset. I'm Karunya Rao and I'm here to help you navigate the trading day with actionable trading strategies, sectoral trends and most importantly your queries during the course of the show. So guys, keep commenting on our live feed and we'll have them addressed by a technical expert on the show. But before introducing him, let's see what the global handover looks like. European stocks closed slightly higher. Investor sentiment remained choppy. Stock 600 ended 0.3% higher. FTSE outperformed the pack, logging in about 0.9% worth of gains. Broad sell-off on Wall Street. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq logged in losses as much as 3% after disappointing consumer confidence data for the month of June. Asian markets also trading in the red, while the SGX Nifty hints at a gap-down start for the Indian market. And in the first clear signs of a succession plan being charted out at Reliance Industries, billionaire Mukesh Ambani resigned from the board of Reliance Jio and handed over the firm's reins to elder son Akash Ambani. We also put the spotlight on the technicals of SBI and Route Mobile. All right, let's get going and discuss some stocks that are likely to be in the spotlight today with Rajesh Palviya of Axis Securities. Of course, we would like to address the big story that's panning out at Reliance Industries, the one that I just flagged off. Rajesh, how are you looking at the markets? And then we can talk about Reliance Industries specifically, which is likely to be in focus.
Yeah, good morning. So in the last trading session, we have seen again, on selling pressure at a higher level, and again Nifty is not able to cross 15,900, which is an important resistance area for this, especially for this expiry. And looking at the data setup, also we have seen that a lot of call writing activity was witnessed in the previous sessions, also at around 15,900, 16,000 strike. So looking at the setup, we expect that market is going to remain in the range like 15,650 to 15,900. This is the range which we are expecting for next couple of trading session, as call and put writers are aggressive at this strike. So we believe once Nifty manages to cross above 15,900 level with volume action, then possibly another round of short covering action we can witness in the market, and then possibly Nifty can inch up further higher towards 16,200 level, which is the next target which we are expecting in this continuation of this pullback rally which we are seeing since last couple of trading session. So overall, buy on dip should be the strategy. 15,600 is the key support area as of now. If he breaks below that level, then possibly some more liquidation or some more profit booking can be there in the market. But till we are holding above 15,600 level, it's opportunity. Whatever minor dips which we are getting in the trading session is opportunity to buy in the dips. On the other hand, if we analyze the Bank Nifty setup, also 34,000 and 34,200 are the critical level for the Bank Nifty. Until unless we're not able to cross those level, some profit booking, some supply pressure would be there around those level. On the other hand, lower side, the important support for the Bank Nifty is at around 33,400, which is very important for next couple of days. If he breaks that level, then possibly it may go down towards 33,000 level. So overall, if we analyze the setup towards this monthly expiry, 33,000, 34,000, these are the important level as of now for the Bank Nifty also for next couple of trading sessions. Moving to the Reliance query, Reliance is looking very interesting, like, stock after the correction. We are seeing that, Reliance is holding near to its 200-day moving average, which is at around 2,500 level. And since last 3-4 trading session, stock is getting buying interest around those level. And looking at the overall setup for the Reliance, we expect that, if Reliance manages to hold about 2,500 level, then possibly one uptick we can see in the today's session, or towards expiry also we can see some, positive momentum in the Reliance industry. We are expecting that, if it's a hold 2,500, then possibly 2,580, 2,590 levels can be seen on the higher side for Reliance in next 2-3 trading session. Because if we analyze the overall June series setup, we expect that the stock is showing the strength and the kind of open interest has been there in the stock since for this series, it clearly shows that might be in the rollover action. There could be some positive uptick we can witness towards the expiry. So one can buy even Reliance 2540 strike call option also to play this upside momentum which we are expecting. The 2540 call option was closed at around 23 level, so we suggest to buy this call option, and possibly 35 to 40 rupees could be the target for this option for Reliance Industry. One can keep a stop loss of 12 rupees. So we are expecting that 2500 should be the stop loss to buy Reliance at the current level.
Okay, all right. Thanks for sharing your view on Reliance, because the big corporate story today is about the change of guard at Reliance Jio Infocom. Mukesh Ambani has resigned as director of the company, and the board has approved the appointment of Akash Ambani as the new chairman. Pankaj Mohan Pawar has been appointed as the managing director for a period of 5 years. Remember, Mukesh Ambani continues to be chairman of Jio Platforms, the flagship company owning all digital services, brands and businesses under the Jio banner, including Reliance Jio Infocom. Akash Ambani's elevation is being seen as a recognition for his many contributions towards the disruptive growth in the digital services and consumer retail portions of the business. He has been closely involved with the creation of the digital ecosystem around Jio's 4G proposition and spearheaded key acquisitions in the digital space over the last few years, including Savan and Haptic. We are being joined by my colleague Nisha Poddar with all the details. Nisha, tell us what are the big highlights of this announcement?
This is the largest corporate development that India Inc. has seen in the recent times, and one of the largest India's conglomerate, Reliance Industries, Mukesh Ambani passes on the baton of the high growth potential telecom vertical of the company Reliance Jio to the group scion Akash Ambani. So with immediate effect, Mukesh Ambani will be resigning from the board of Reliance Jio, and Akash Ambani will take over as the chairman of the company, of the board, of which he was made part of in May 2020. Another important announcement about the leadership of Reliance Jio is that Pankaj Pawar will take over as the managing director for the next 5 years. But remember, Mukesh Ambani will continue to be the chairman of Jio Platforms. Now, it's two important aspects to this particular news development. First, the succession planning of Reliance Industries is getting clear. This is the first instance of Mukesh Ambani taking a back seat in any of the group companies and giving way to the future leaders. And more announcements are likely, like for example, Isha Ambani's role in Reliance Retail, Anant Ambani's role in the energy businesses, and that will be watched out for very, very closely to get a clearer picture of the succession of the group. On the other hand, in 2019's AGM, Mukesh Ambani had announced that Jio would be looking at an IPO in the next 5 years. We are in that 5 years period, and the leadership clarity making Akash Ambani as the face of Reliance Jio could be a step in preparing the company for the impending IPO as well. That's something market will watch out for closely. Now remember that Akash Ambani has been involved with Reliance Jio's operations since the inception. He joined the board in May 2020, has driven many digital acquisitions for the vertical, and also participated and actively worked on the stake sale and fundraising exercise, and leave aside the inventions as well as the disruptions, and some of those strategies also are something that Akash Ambani has deeply involved himself in when it comes to Reliance Jio. But he's going to be the face of Reliance Jio as it heads for the IPO in the given timeline announced by Reliance Industries.
Okay, Nisha, thanks much for joining us with that update and the details about this announcement. Let's go across to Rajesh Palviya once again to talk technicals. Rajesh, want to also address another heavyweight that's likely to be in the limelight, and it's SBI. They're looking to invest in an NBFC account aggregator. The name of this company is Perfio's Account Aggregation Services. Of course, this investment will be subject to RBI's approval, but what they're eyeing is a 9.54% stake in this company. Talk to us about SBI's technicals. It's had a good week. Last 5 days have been quite encouraging and optimistic. But is that rally and is that momentum going to continue?
So definitely stock after corrective action, stock is trying to form a base and looking at the setup since last few trading session we have seen that significant buying action from the lower level, and now stock has recovered and managed to hold about 20-day moving average, which clearly shows that some strength is coming back on the near term setup. So looking at the setup, we expect that if stock manages to cross above 475, which is the 50-day moving average, if it manages to cross above 475 level, then possibly further more upside we can see in the SBI, and possibly then upward target would be around 490 to 500 zone on the higher side, but on a short to medium term basis. But looking at the immediate setup, we feel that if its stock continues to hold above 450 level, is an opportunity. If any minor dips comes in the stock, is an opportunity to buy in the dips. Keep stop loss of 450 till the stock is holding this level. Then possibly upward target is around 480 to 490 on the short term basis. So view is positive. Buy on dip should be the strategy in the SBI with a stop loss of 450.
Okay, all right. I want to also pull up a Route Mobile. There's some update coming in there as well. This is on buyback of shares worth 120 crore rupees. The buyback level or the buyback price that they have offered is 1700 rupees per share. The size of the buyback is going to be 7.05 lakh equity shares, about 1% odd of the overall equity. But 1700, very attractive offer price that they have given for the buyback, because the stock is currently perched at 1328-29 levels. In fact, last 1 week, it has seen a good jump up of 220 rupees odd, Rajesh. Where do you see this going after, especially the buyback news, which is at a fair amount of premium?
So after a significant corrective action in the stock from the level of 2300 to all the way near to 1050 level, stock has witnessed some buying action from the lower level. Last week we have seen positive momentum, and again current week also is suggesting some positive momentum in the stock. But looking at the overall setup, the stock is still in the weak zone. But looking at the near-term setup, stock is now trading about 20-day moving average and now witnessing some supply pressure at 50-day moving average. 1420, 1430 is the multiple resistance zone for the stock for any kind of pullback action. So we expect that 1430 is the level. If someone has bought at the lower level, he should book some profit at around 1420, 1430 zone, which is the multiple supply zone for the stock. We feel that stock may remain in the consolidation range for a few more weeks. 1450 to 1300 could be the possible consolidation range we can witness for some more time. Once stock manages to cross above 1450 level, then possibly some strength or some more buying action can be witnessed in the stock, and then possibly then stock can head up further higher towards 1520, 1550 level on the high side. But we are expecting some consolidation. So those who have bought at the lower level are advised to book some profit at around 1420 to 1430 zone.
Okay, all right. Let's address some viewer queries as well. First up is a question from Kaliki Murthy. He wants your view on Tata Power. Last 1 month on, the stock has been pretty range bound really. So what do you think will happen now? What are the chart patterns indicating?
Yeah, so stock has witnessed some corrective action from the higher level around 240-45 level, but now stock is trading near to its multiple support area on the monthly chart, which is at around 200 level. So if its stock continues to hold about 200 level, then possibly some pullback action may continue in the stock towards 215 to 220 zone, which is the immediate resistance area as of now on the short-term basis. So overall setup for Tata Power is bullish. We expect some consolidation would remain in the stock for some more time. 200 to 220 is the consolidation range which we are expecting for some more time. Once stock manages to cross about 220, then possibly stock may further scale up towards 240 to further to new high also. So my advice would be to remain invested in the stock. If it comes near to 200, one can add also to average out the stock at the lower price also. So overall setup is positive for the long-term setup.
Okay. The next query is on IEX. This is about the view for the next few weeks and months. The question is from Naveen. How are you reading into the technicals of IEX? Because going by the recent trend, if we look at the 1 month chart, 3 month chart, or even 6 months, it has been consistently underperforming.
Yeah, so currently stock is continuously forming lower top, lower bottom formation, and looking at the monthly setup also, it's a 7th consecutive month where lower low formation is making in the IEX, and looking at the near term, short term setup, the stock is in weak zone. So we believe that and the stock is available in the derivative side also. So short positions are also there in the stock. So we feel that furthermore weakness is likely to continue in the stock. Maybe it can go down further towards 150, 145 level. So until unless stock not able to cross above 185, 190 zone, stock will remain under pressure, and sell on rise would be the strategy in IEX.
Okay. All right. The next query is from Kishore, and he wants your advice on Titan. Again, last 1.5, 2 months, largely a range-bound trade Titan has been. Where is it headed?
So near-term setup is clearly suggesting that there is a weakness till stock not able to cross about to 2050 level. Stock is going to witness supply pressure for any pullback action in the near-term basis. So again, a sell-on rise would be the strategy for Titan till it's not crosses about 2050. Looking at the setup, the immediate support area for Titan is at around 1920 level. If it breaks that level, then it may go further down towards 1800 level also. So overall, this is the 4th consecutive month where we are seeing continuous supply pressure is there in the stock, and near-term setup is weak. So again, sell-on rise would be a strategy. If he is holding, then he should keep a strict stop loss of 1920 if it's on the buying side. Break below 1920 will open the way for 1800 also.
Okay. All right. Next query is from Shashidhar. He wants your view on GMR Infra for the long haul. Again, last 1 month, very, very sluggish mover. What is your view, and especially if somebody wants to invest for the long run?
So a series of lower top, lower bottom formation on the near-term, short-term chart. Overall, long-term setup is also not that much, encouraging. Looking at the setup, it's in a tight range of 32 rupees to 38 rupees since last couple of months. So until unless stock not crosses about 38.40 zone, it will remain in the range only. So if he's looking for making some profit on the investment, I would suggest he should quit from the stock, because overall setup for the stock is on the bearish side. Until unless stock not crosses above 40-45 level, there would not be any significant buying action will emerge in the stock. So my advice would be to exit from the stock if it comes near to 38 or 40 zone.
All right. Okay. I want to address a Canara Bank as well. Shiv Kumar has written to us, and he wants your view on Canara Bank. This also has been very, very slow last one and a half months. Do you think it's a prudent idea to invest or to buy this counter?
So overall, if we analyze the weekly setup for Canara Bank, it's moving in down sloping channel, which clearly suggests that lower band for this channel is at around 165 and higher band is at around 205. So we expect that this trading range is going to continue for some more weeks. Once we get the breakout about 205, then possibly stock may show some good buying action. Then possibly upward target would be at around 220. If he's having reason to hold the stock for longer period, then buy and accumulate would be the strategy in the range of 185 to 165 is the buying range for the stock to accumulate. And once the stock crosses about 205, then he can add further position. Then possibly upside target would be at around 220 to 230 on the higher side.
Okay, all right. We have a query on future retail from Ravi Surana. Of course, this stock has only eroded value for its investors and all the traders. Start of the month from about 50 rupees odd, 60 rupees odd, the stock has only gone one way, and that is towards the downside. What to do if somebody still is invested in counters like these and their money perhaps is stuck? Should they cut their losses and exit soonest?
So almost, stock is trading below 10 rupees and now there is no value as such. And looking at the technical, there is nothing in the stock. So only hope is the criteria to hold this stock. But looking at the setup, looking at the supply pressure which we are seeing continuously on the stock, there is no as such hope for any recovery. So I would suggest if it's if he is willing to book the losses, I think he should exit from the stock because there is nothing as such positivity on the chart. Overall, it's a weak structure. Maybe it may go further down from the current level also. So there is no sense to hold this stock even at the current price also.
Okay, all right, Rajesh. And what are some stocks that you are closely looking at right now that you'd like to recommend to our viewers?
So currently, first stock is from automobile space, that is Ashok Leyland. We are in the expiry week and looking at the setup for Ashok Leyland throughout the series. We have seen a significant buying action was there in the stock, and almost now stock is on the verge of giving a breakout of its multiple resistance zone on the weekly as well as on the daily chart. So looking at the Ashok Leyland setup, we expect that 155 could be the possible target in the near-term basis. So one can buy this stock with stop loss of 141. Another stock is from IT space, that is HCL Tech. We have seen, some short covering action in the previous trading session. And looking at the HCL Tech setup after corrective action, now stock is able to cross its 20-day moving average. The kind of short covering we have witnessed in the previous trading session, we expect that stock can move further higher towards 1035 level. So one can buy HCL Tech with a stop loss of 988.
Since you're talking about HCL Tech, overall, how's the IT pack looking? We have a query as well from Senthil Kumar. Your view on IT stocks barring HCL Technologies. Any other names also that you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, so most of the IT stocks are witnessing short covering action because most of the stocks are in oversold zone, and almost a similar pattern for all the large cap stocks, especially Infosys, TCS, and HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra. All the stocks are now inching higher and negotiating with the 20-day moving average. So we expect if IT stocks may hold at the current level, also some possible pullback action can be seen towards the expiry also. So another stock which we like is Infosys, that is trading at around 1480. So we believe that Infosys, if it continues to hold over 1460, 1455 level, then Infosys can inch up further higher towards 1520 level, which is the next resistance area for trading point of view.
All right. Thank you so much, Rajesh, for joining in and for sharing your insights and your readings of different scripts and counters and all that our viewers need to know going into trade this morning. That's all we have in this edition of Morning Trade, guys. But stay tuned to Money Control. Markets with Santo and CJ is coming up next.